Hey, I'm Dave, and this is the third episode of Season 2 of the CMX Games DesignCast.
And I'm Scott. Together we're CMX Games. And what we're going to talk about this week is what we did last weekend, aside from watching the Badgers win. We went to Lake Geneva and went to our second GaryCon. We went last year with Copper Country and really enjoyed the environment and the location. And so we decided to go again this year with Brickwork, which you can see right behind Dave.
Hey, there it is, back there, one of our prototype kits.
Yeah, so we got the box art. We got a nice board. So basically ready to start showing it around and get some feedback, get some interest. And so we played a lot of Brickwork on Saturday.
Yeah, we rolled in at about, what did we get there, about 10, a little after 10?
Yeah, actually a little before.
And then we left a little after 8. And
Yep.
for the most part, we played, the exception of the GaryCon auction, we pretty much played Brickwork right on through the whole day.
Yep. So, I mean, a lot of good reactions. There wasn't a whole lot of people that basically everybody enjoyed the gameplay. There wasn't a lot of feedback about the gameplay needing anything else, really.
Hooray!
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
The main, pieces of feedback, I mean, weren't even necessarily directly, mentioned to us, just things that we picked up, like that aspect of the graphic design didn't quite work or whatever.
Yeah, I think we noticed. I think we had 2 changes that we knew we wanted to make, and then one that we discussed and decided was not necessary.
Yep.
And that was it from 20-something plus games.
Yep.
With new players. So that was pretty awesome.
Yep.
I mean, and the 2 things are we have a copy action, and it has a little outline. It's supposed to be like a blueprint for a die, but people wanted to place their die on that outline. So that outline needs to be 3-dimensional instead of 2-dimensional.
Yeah, not look like it's a space.
Yeah, and then in one case, one player assumed that the demolish action would let them break the brick prints, which are yellow, because the illustration near the demolish action had yellow bricks on it, so those are going to change to blue. And that's all we learned for all day long. Other than that, people had fun.
Actually, I would say a couple of people did bring up that they wanted to be able to break their opponents' things.
Yeah.
Which is...
I noticed, I didn't hear one person say that yet.
Yeah, I think maybe a second person said it as well. But, I mean, that's kind of a style thing. Different gamers like different types of games, and that might be a little more aggro. One thing that we also didn't demo for those players is the more, we're going to have some different board settings or game settings. We'll probably talk about those in a future design cast, but basically you can make the game more competitive if you want.
Yeah, I sort of kind of depended on the level of gamer that was playtesting, but I did explain sort of the alternative game modes to people if it seemed like that's something they'd be interested in.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people like to stick around and talk about the game and stuff like that. It seemed to get people pretty excited.
Yeah, we had some long conversations with a few folks.
Yep. So we also, it's kind of a family event. There were a lot of families there, especially wandering around the board game room, and so we actually got a chance to, validate our age range guesses for Copper Country, for Brickwork. Jeez.
Yes, Brickwork.
Not Copper Country.
God.
Although we did have a 10-year-old successfully play that, but
yeah. Yeah, so we'd had other people test the game with a 9-year-old, basically, and so us, we had not had that first-hand experience yet.
Yep.
Until GaryCon, so we got to see. Did we see? Yeah, we saw both. Roughly 9 to 11 was all. I think all the kids that played were probably between 9 and 11, and then the adults were, however old
Yep.
adults are.
Yep.
And we saw both, like a kid play with an adult and two kids play the game against each other,
Yeah. 9 and 10-year-old brother against each other.
which was a lot of fun. I mean, I don't think the game is meant to be, like, I don't think two 9-year-olds could pick up the box and necessarily figure it out on their own. Like, I think you need an adult's help to figure it out. So I did kind of have to coach the game along
Mm-hmm.
as it was going, but they had a lot of fun with it, and sometimes really surprised me with how much they did understand while playing.
And we did have family come by where the mother was very interested in the game as a teacher, thought that there was a lot of cool concepts in it, and wanted to sit down and try to start a game with her 6-year-old daughter. Yeah, I mean, she could collect a few bricks, but, you know.
Well, yeah, 6. I mean, 6 is too young. I mean, we knew it going in, and we told her it would be, but it was worth a try.
Yep. I mean, yeah. So about what we expected, but
Yeah. I mean, I was like explaining the first action on the game board. I could just see her eyes go like,
yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't even playing with the Legos either. Like it was I think the one of the kids that I played against, who must have been 10 or 11 or something. He was building a little fortress out of his Legos.
His brickyard.
Yeah, his brickyard was a fortress, and every time he'd be forced to take something from his brickyard and put it in his collection, he'd like go and rebuild the the fortress and get smaller and smaller each time.
So basically, GaryCon was, I mean, the event's a lot of fun, and we got a lot of very positive feedback, and then just want to make a couple very small changes, and got some input from different age ranges that kind of confirmed our thoughts on, how old you need to be to play and understand the game.
What's next on the schedule then?
For brickwork, more testing. There's a protospiel coming up.
Mm-hmm.
There's gaming hoopla coming up, and then after that, it might be time for launching, but that's to be determined. That's a whole nother topic entirely, which relates to Copper Country's delivery date. I guess I might as well go ahead and say that both of our shipments arrived at the port in Los Angeles on March 6th. Our major shipment cleared customs on March 26th and is on its way to Atlanta. Where it is exactly, we don't know right now. It's on a train. Our smaller shipment that's headed to Chicago somehow, and I don't understand this, has not cleared customs yet, but has already left LA and is on a train on its way. The last we heard, that one was in New Mexico on March 26th. So we haven't heard anything for the last week. And just kind of wait and see. I'm hoping to hear back from the shipper tomorrow because I want to send a Kickstarter update, seeing as how it is now April, and I try to send one out at the beginning of every month.
Yep. It's making its way there.
Yep, it's getting there. It's
chugging along.
Not going to be March. I'm pretty sad about it, but I mean, since it's been a long time since there's anything that was under our control, so try not to stress out about it too much with a little bit of success.
Yep.
All right.
It'll get there.
It will get there. Yep, it'll get there. I mean, another cool thing, we've gone well beyond our 5-minute target. I guess there'll be a 10-minute one. We've seen some reviews start rolling on Board Game Geek, just user ratings and stuff, which has been very encouraging. Because, I mean, 7+ I consider a very good score, and that's pretty much where they're landing. So,
if you've made it this far in the DesignCast, and you play Copper Country, we fully encourage you to go.
Yes, if you play Copper Country,
and share your thoughts.
Let us know your thoughts, one way or another. All right, let's call it.
Done.
We'll be back in another week with more stuff to talk about. Bye.
Yep.